Hello, everybody. Welcome to our fourth week of NACE. We have a very exciting game coming up here. I'm Taku,
And I'm Wattboat.
and today we're going to be playing Florida Southern College. One of them is a 2K, one of them is 1775, and one's a 1650. I'm not too sure what our boys are, but I'm pretty sure that's pretty hot, right? Like that's SSL.
All our boys are, I believe, 2K every season at least.
Okay, so it's a pretty even matchup. Like they have a few people, a few MMR below, but
But
we have seen in the past, a whole team of champs kind of holding off our team down to 1 minute.
and yeah, and that's that wild factor of you haven't played a champ in so many years. It's
Yeah.
like, how do I fight these people?
You don't expect it. Like you're not. How are you supposed to know what they're gonna do if they don't know what they're supposed to do? They're just going for the ball because they see somebody up for it, and it's just like they have to try and beat them.
Pure chaos.
But yeah, this is going to be an exciting matchup to see. Definitely, the boys definitely seem pretty well prepared. They got a bunch of events coming up this month. They got DreamHack, right? They got a bunch of lands. They're going to go to Canada, I believe,
I think so, yeah.
at some point. So this whole month is just packed up for them, And this is just the start where you go NACE, and then next week they're going to be. Aren't they going to be in DreamHack next week? Is that next week?
Yeah, because
So-
they're getting the visas and such,
Oh
right?
yeah. No, well,
Or
for the
passports,
Canada
passports, right?
passports
Yeah,
from
there you go,
Canada,
passports.
yeah. But yeah, it's gonna be exciting to see because we're gonna have Duckworth here with us in our game today. But I believe for DreamHack, Duckworth is not gonna be present.
Oh.
So our team is actually gonna be with Spooky. It's gonna be Spooky, Slayer, and Taco Stash, which is still very high MMR, pretty solid team right there. But it's gonna be interesting to see how they kind of play around now having Duckworth in the rotation because having that cornerstone on your team is just like okay, like I can try and commit for this ball. If I mess up, I have two really consistent players behind me.
Yeah, and especially since Spooky has all that knowledge, right?
Yeah.
Spooky has same knowledge, if not maybe more, as a coach,
Mhm.
like Duckworth. But Duckworth has the actual, mechanical prowess, right?
Mhm.
Because there's a lot of things where I see that Spooky's ready for that, but then the actual time comes and it's different implementing something compared to just knowing it,
Yeah.
right? And that's the coaching route, right? There's a couple of things you haven't been able to implement or can't, but you are able to teach that to someone so very well that they can implement that even better, right?
I think a big part of that also comes into like the chemistry between the players, right? If you play with a three stack all the time, you know what they're gonna do or what their tendencies are. You know what I mean? Like as a coach, you watch it and you're like, okay, he's going to do
Yeah.
that. So I can suggest them switching this up. But then when you're put in that position of trying to fit into a team that, plays a lot faster, it kind of can create bumps. But then, like you said, like he's a coach. He recognizes these things. We have Slayer. He's been an
Yeah,
RSCS coach, Um, so just like adapting to these situations is, I don't feel like it's going to be that much of a problem for them because they have already played at such a high level. Um, but I believe it's going to be a pretty close match today. I mean, hopefully, hopefully they give us an entertaining best of five and not just a sweep. It's a best of five, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
So it's first to three wins.
Mhm.
And so far, I'm pretty sure the only team that's given us trouble was last week. No,
Yeah, yeah.
they
No,
were.
otherwise it's just been the full sweep. Did they
Yeah.
They took one game or
Uh,
no? That was a sweep as well, wasn't it?
I'm actually not
Memory's
sure,
not the
yeah.
craziest. Yeah.
But I do know we are positive in the tournament
Oh,
right now.
we're
So it'd be nice to see them continue this streak and just keep going with it and kind of just adapt from seeing how the play style of the Florida Southern College, works out.
especially seeing them practice out there, getting their scrims in all the time. I feel like Spooky's going to be ready to hop in this game because as long as he's been playing games with them, he's been playing some ranked games, getting in some higher elo through Slayer, through Taco, through Duckworth.
Yeah.
He's finally able to get that experience at that high level without having to put in so much time to reach that point, right?
Yeah.
And since he's a GC2, GC3 respectively, right?
Mm-hmm.
He is able to at least handle the lobby enough, right? Because at that point, I'm here to learn what am I doing wrong to not become SSL.
Yeah.
Because SSL is when people have refined things very, very finely.
Yeah.
And then, well, when you're high SSL, you're just a pro, right?
Yeah.
You're the
After a certain point in
boon of your
SSL, you're
team.
literally just a professional. Like you play in RLCS and you compete, and that's the thing where it's like that jump from like high like GC2, GC3 to like SSL is so much bigger than you really think. Because it's like, oh, you're one rank away, you're two ranks away, but in reality, it's like
You're hundreds of MMR.
they're faster than
Yeah.
you, they're more mechanical than you, they're more consistent than you, and they're way, way faster. Like you're going up for the ball, like, oh, I'm gonna hit this, and they're already double tapping it, and it's like, what
At
do you
that
do
point,
at that point?
Yeah, the vision makes a difference, right? Like GC3 Div 1 compared to Div 3, that's going to be a huge difference.
Exactly.
I can guarantee that.
Yep. And staying in those divisions is kind of the challenge. It's not like you get to that point and then it's like, oh, I have to either, maintain this rank by just going positive pretty much, which is not ideal for ranking up, obviously. But that's kind of what happens to a lot of people where they just are in that constant loop of win 2 games, lose 2 games, win 2 games, or like win one, lose one. And then sometimes you'll lose like a lot more MMR than you will gain. So it just like kind of, you're always just fluctuating between like Div 1, Div 2, Div 3, just like going back and forth.
And when you hit that GC, I feel that's when those divisions really make a big difference because you're not just going to be sitting at, oh, I'm GC3 Div 1 for a couple months, and then one season you just push all the way to SSL. No.
Like that's not how that works.
You're
it's
going
like
to be Div 1 one season, maybe Div 2 next
season.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Div 3,
maybe Div 3 that season as well. But it's usually gonna come with a downfall. Like every player has a time where it's like they'll be on an up and they'll keep going up, and then they'll just have that big slump. Yep, and then you'll have to work your way back up again, and then working your way back up again is what like really differentiates like players like me. That is just like I get to diamond and champ, and it's just like,
did you get lucky or did you work
like,
for that?
Was I really playing that good to get to it, or did I just get like 4 games in a row of people that were just not as good as me?
Yeah, but we will be seeing players who are much better than us in this field right here.
And already off the rip, Taco Stash is taking it over one player, gets a nice little save, but Duckworth on the rebound, playing it to the right.
Guided a little too high for his teammates there, but Taco will control this on the back wall.
Yep, doesn't really get the best touch, but Taco Stash just playing it forward. Astro gets not the best touch either, but he still has the possession of the ball. Taco Stash just being fast to the ball. Slayer going up, getting a nice little bump onto the second man there.
Ooh, good.
Duckworth playing a pass on the wall to Taco Stash, and he gets a little flip reset, trying to go for the ceiling.
Just too high.
But the pressure is still consistent here. Slayer, you know, taking his turn, going second. Duckworth going, not really getting too much out of it. But Soj here just fully doesn't land right and is backwards. Taco Stash taking the ball, gets a nice little touch off the ceiling.
And that was great patience from Taco Stash there, getting rid of both defenders who are really itching to hit that
Taco
ball in the
Stash
middle.
just trying to slot it in, gets a nice little rebound. But
Slayer left alone here.
yeah, Slayer left back alone because Duck doesn't have the best angle on that shot there. So it's kind of just trying to go for it here as fast as they can. Taco Stash with a nice little play forward, but nobody to follow it up because Duck doesn't have a lot of boost. But Duck decides to go for the demo, and he actually turns back around. He spins the block after getting the boost and gets the demo there. Astro with the ball at the moment.
Oh, that's a good catch.
Yep, gets a nice catch and gets a pretty decent touch there, but Taco Stash just playing it straight up and then trying to follow it through. Doesn't have a lot of boost. He's going to have to turn here.
Gonna force one up though, but Duckworth's gonna loft back to his back wall and get that clear.
Yeah, he gets a clear. No boost at the moment still, but he's keeping pressure on. He gets their back boost, leaving into a 2v2, but Taco Stash is playing it forward. Duckworth being an absolute menace in the back line.
Yeah.
Slayer keeping the pressure up, trying to get the double tap. Gets a nice little touch there. But Astro with the save, I believe. Or Astro with the demo and Soj with the save. Taco Stash just letting the ball flow, but I think that's part of it because he was like,
Ooh, Duck is up.
not the best touch. Zipper playing it back. Slayer just booming it forward. Astro gets a soft touch. He's going to try and continue to keep possession here. Gets a 50. Taco Stash playing it into the middle here.
And this control is much different than last week's game, if you can't tell, or the week before that. Just each team being able to keep a hold of this ball for as long as
Ooh,
possible.
Taco Stash with the crazy fake. Goes up, making it look like he's going to do an air dribble, and then just fully does not.
That's a good boost grab from Taco there. First man coming up because he wants all that boost. A crazy demo coming forward from Florida Southern, but Shawnee will take this out of their net and perhaps score.
Passes it to Duckworth.
Oh,
Gets a nice
shoots it
touch,
soft.
but Soj gets an amazing save there. Slayer keeping the ball possession, 50s it, and it's still right in front. And it's not gonna go exactly the way they wanted.
Yeah, Shawnee can't bite for that. Just a little bit too risky. But they can bite for this. A little sidewall double. At least to clear it middle. Slayer will take it to the wall here. Get himself a little 50. A tough back wall save there, leaving members on Florida Southern a little low on boost.
Duckworth up for the 50 here. Gets a nice little 50 towards down, but Zipper is still there. Doesn't get a touch. Doesn't get a touch
Ooh.
again. I'm not sure if that was intentional. But Soj gets a touch, gets 50'd off by Slayer. Astro just keeping possession of the ball and taking it to the sidewall, but Duckworth is fully contesting it. Brings it over two people into the middle, but the last man is able to clear it out.
So that'll go back to Slayer and Zipper with
Slayer
zero
taking
boost
it,
upfield.
and Duckworth just T90ing that goal right into it. Beautiful touch here by Slayer. Plays it into the middle, carries it, and Duckworth upside down just gets a nice little bar down.
Perhaps bar out, but the opponent not ready for
It
it.
might have just hit the ground and hit the bar again and it went out. But I think the positioning of the defender just ended up being not the best. But Soj with a shot here and Duckworth ready for it. Astro getting the soft touch, keeping control right over Taco Stash. Slayer,
Ooh,
though,
good
just
backflip.
fully cutting it out, trying to get it out. But Soj with the contest here. Duckworth trying to just take his time here since he knows they only have 30 seconds left in this game one here.
Yeah, even the IQ of play here, you can tell is just, much different than any games you've seen,
So
perhaps
far.
played. Because even that little backflip from Slayer there, that was to get the ball forward, but for him not to commit on it, right? For him to at least get it out of his corner and perhaps get the next 50. And it's that small little stuff like that that's going to put the difference between Shawnee and Florida Southern here.
Yeah, those slight little touches. You're right.
Ooh, a touch
Ooh,
around, but
this
Taco will touch
Taco
down.
was just pretty interesting. That last little events of play, they were they kind of almost scored again. Kept the pressure on consistently, and the first goal being scored 4 minutes into the game, which is kind of interesting. A low scoring first game. We have seen this before, where it's a low scoring first game, and then once they're warmed up and know each other's play styles a little more, they start going a lot more aggressive. And
Start connecting with each other.
Florida Southern being down in game after game one, they're probably going to try and take a more of a aggressive play here. Try to actually um, be more or keep the ball more in Shawnee's side of the field. Because as we saw there, I would say the possession was probably 70-30. Like the ball possession was more in the Florida Southern College side of the match.
And I feel like their neutral wasn't bad. The only issue was their offense, right?
Yep.
When the ball's in midfield, I felt like it was just anyone's game, right? But they couldn't really add on to their pressure too much because good clears from Slayer, good positioning from Duck, being able to just shut down any offense before it even happens.
Yeah. Taco Stash just doing what he does, just being that big anchor. Duckworth was being full aggressive, kind of just keeping the ball in the other half. And Slayer just being the consistent, player that he is, as always, just ready to be second man, ready to be first man, depending on the situation. He's fast to realize
We've
what
seen
the
him get
situation
mechanical.
is. And Taco Stash with a goal on net and gets saved, and then Zipper says, "No, you can have that one." Not really sure what happened here. Astro with the save, it bars out and goes straight into Zipper.
It's the second
It's-
touch. He's
yeah,
he's
it's
jumping over the
unfortunate.
demo there, I believe, actually.
Yeah, he was trying to get over the demo, and I think what happened is the ball just bumped out, and they were not
Oh, but-
expecting it. Duckworth taking his time here, making Astro go for the ball. Taco Stash wave dashing,
Good
faking,
fake.
but Astro is
Astro
on the ball with full boost. This is looking threatening at the moment. But Duckworth coming in, being the strong contester as he is. Taco Stash taking a nice little touch on the wall. And now following it. Ooh, taking
big
it
dunk.
right over.
That's
And this is
bouncing
going to
down.
straight down. And Taco's just going to score that. This is what we know of Taco. He will just do things that you don't expect. And even though that 50 wasn't fully intentional, I don't think, the positioning 100% was. He knew that if the ball gets popped back up, he's going to be right there to get that 50 to boom it. But he just got the most perfect boom. 2-0 with 4 minutes and 20 seconds left.
Especially as the aggressor and the striker. He's going to be ready for all those reads. He has to read those
All the
to
time.
follow up on his offense at all times.
Oof, Astro there taking a touch, not the best follow-up, and Taco Stash or Slayer almost scoring it. Taco Stash gets a touch on the back wall, or a shot towards back wall, and Astro getting a touch on back wall. But possession in Shawnee's favor right now.
Oh.
Duckworth getting
Good low 50 from Taco, though.
Slayer getting
another
a
player.
big demo on his way back. But here's a little shot on goal. Taco Stash playing it forward. Duckworth getting a nice soft little touch. Not really much coming out of it. But Slayer ready to contest it with full boost here. Taco Stash getting the back boost and turning. Just forcing the ball up. And two people are up at the moment. And nothing really coming of it because Duckworth is ready to just make it awkward for them.
Yeah, speaking of making it awkward, you could tell by his play that he's the chaos, right?
Yep.
You could see his wide rotations back there in the enemy half to force out wider rotations from the opponents. That
And the
puts them
constant
far away
pressure
their
as
ball.
well. Ooh, shot coming up and just getting a nice little touch. Taco going for it again. Gets a
the
bump at least. Astro just getting a touch towards left for Soj and going back to Zipper.
Back to Soj.
Ooh, Soj trying to get it, but Zipper actually follows it up. Slayer trying to stay with it. Gets a 50, and Taco Stash is going to be, or Duckworth is going to be second man here, just going for it. Slayer keeping that pressure, forcing it. Taco Stash getting the second man touch. And
Both
Slayer
got up,
on the
but
way back,
Slayer's
getting a
still
nice
there.
little shot on backboard. Astro just playing it to the side, though. Duckworth into the middle, and Slayer getting a shot, but Zipper with a beautiful save there. Just in the perfect position to make that save.
And you could see Slayer's third man capabilities there, being able to control that ball when he sees that both of his teammates have accidentally went for the same challenge.
Slayer with the beautiful recovery, mid stride. He just decides to go backwards,
Oh,
but Soj with a
quick
shot,
cut.
bottom right over Taco here, I believe.
Yeah, Taco.
Taco with a great recovery, by the way. Beautiful recovery. Almost gets there. He gets a shot to the right. And Slayer also almost just able to save it. Florida score a goal. It's 2-1 after 3 minutes played.
Yeah, catching Taco using a little bit too much speed out of the net there. I think he thought that play would be a little bit slower.
Slower.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you got me.
yeah, I think he thought it would be a little faster, so he went way faster to actually try and contest. But Zipper, was it? Oh no, Soj. Soj scored. Soj just taking their time and just getting a nice little touch, bottom right.
Clear out.
See, like we were talking about, the aggressiveness of Florida Southern has fully changed. Their whole demeanor is a lot more just go, you know, instead of just like trying to wait for that touch. But that fast aggressive play has allowed them to score a goal and keep possession more on Shawnee's side, to be honest. But ball just getting cleared out.
Yeah.
Duckworth booming it forward. Soj there ready to contest, goes on the ceiling, follows it up, and tries to get a ground pinch.
This has
Zipper
been
is already up in the air trying to do something with it, but nothing really coming of it. Slayer gets a demo, and Taco
and a
Stash just dunking it.
And this has been a game of just clear it to the back wall, see if the opponent can even handle it, but they can't handle that dunk.
Nope. Gets a nice little air roll just to position his car perfectly right into the play and getting a 50 and pinching it right into the goal. Soj keeping possession here, getting a nice little touch forward. Astro with the boom. Zipper up for it, gets a pass off the back wall, but Taco Stash is already pre-jumping it. And now they kind of have a little bit of a threatening play with two people back. And Duckworth just being a menace, but Taco Stash just going slightly wide there.
Slayer trying to get himself a little sidewall double. But it'll
Duckworth
clear back
going
to
up.
their net.
Duckworth flies straight back up to force the ball to be played. And yeah, we saw that jump there expecting a shot, but Zipper just took his time. And Duckworth here just playing a little bit of patty cake with the enemy here, just passing it back and forth, clapping hands.
Well done by Soj, though, to keep that out of his net.
Taco Stash here just taking off the wall. He sees the touch, beats two people.
Gets bumped off
Here's
his goal.
Duckworth. Oh, gets bumped off the ball, but to be fair, he did exactly what he needed to got the ball out of their half with 3 seconds remaining, only 1 goal up in game 2. But Shawnee State take game 2 here, secure a position of match point, where if they win this next one, that's going to be it. And even though these games have been close, like they're both very much, you know, not evenly matched, but pretty even. Like they're playing very consistent and keeping the ball in each other's halves very often. Like first game, we saw Shawnee have the possession a lot more in Florida's side, but in the game 2, I believe Florida had a lot more possession in Shawnee's side. They were just not able to get past that iron wall of Shawnee.
And definitely still a close match in terms of the scoreline, but a lot more comfortable for Shawnee. A lot less mistakes.
For sure. That's what I was saying. Like once the game starts, what kind of plushie is that? Anyways, it looks like a Pokemon. But
Sphere maybe?
nah, it does not. Come on, man. But we saw their game 2. They were able to take it, and like I said, they are a little bit more warm now, so they felt a lot more comfortable just going for things. But game 3, match point for Shawnee State University out of the best of 5. Let's see if they're able to just finish it out here. Duckworth with the dunk, just ready. He just sees the opportunity with a little bit of boost that he has, that he collected with the pads. Gets a nice first touch and then just double taps it. This is why we call him Dunkworth. This is what he does.
The best play he could have made there, shooting straight on. Astro has that every day.
Yep. And 5 seconds played in game 2, and possession's already back at Shawnee.
Big fake.
Taco Stash making 2 people look like they don't know
clear
how to
middle.
play the game and just passes it to the middle for Duckworth to get his 2nd goal already. Like, that's insane, man. He just made 2 people jump for it, and then just plays it right back.
Look at that power,
Because
too.
he's able to just readjust
Like-
his car midair as he's falling with his air roll and just his like mechanics. But 2-0 with 15 seconds played in game 3 here.
Shawnee winning all of these kickoffs.
So just trying to stay with it, trying to get a touch over Slayer, but not really successful. Astro playing it down in the middle, but Taco Stash is ready for it. Slayer getting the
Demo.
boom, and he's still going to continue to be just a menace. Gets a nice little redirect. Duckworth up for it, looking for his third, just faking it. Slayer up for it, plays it back. He's going to go down, trying to double tap it, not quite getting it.
And
But
he's- we'll read
keeping
that
his
though.
speed, and instead of getting demo chase there, he actually demo chases and gets a successful demo. Taco Stash is up for it.
Yeah,
He
good
beats
speed.
Soj. And Duckworth playing it to the middle. Taco still being a menace. Slayer coming out with the shot, but it gets defended by Astro here. Oh, Duckworth just being an absolute menace. Keeping full speed, and getting the ball back, and also the
Clamming.
demo. And that gets converted to an offensive play. Taco just taking the ball with him and then just handing it off. Literally looks like he's just handing it off to Slayer, and Slayer just getting a nice little shot top left here. A
And-
minute, 10 seconds played, 3-0 in game 3.
And that'll be shut down in every other lobby. It's just them knowing they have the right of way because they've already gotten rid of half of the opponents.
True. And also being up 2 goals already at that point, they can start doing stuff that they
Oh, spills out
usually won't.
perfectly for Slayer.
Taco Stash, man, just going for those 50s here. I believe he 52 people here, no? Gets 1
Yeah.
and then 2. He got 2 50s, and just a perfect pop out for Slayer. And props to Slayer for having that perfect positioning, just ready to shoot it.
And remember, these aren't no bad players.
No, these
The
are
lowest player is what, GC2?
maybe GC3?
I believe so. Or 1650. I think that's on the
GC2?
mark of GC2.
Okay.
Still
which
keep in
is-
mind. That's like
top-
top 0.5% of all players, top
Yeah.
something like that.
I think it's like top 1%.
It's still something not many have achieved.
Yeah. But then again,
It's
the
just
3
caliber
players
of
on our
players.
team are like top like 0.5%. Like they're the, they're top
Players.
100.
Ooh, little
Like,
pre-flip.
They're top 100
Oh.
in NA. I mean, they're kind of just the best of the best, at least in North America.
Johnny cooking for a little highlight reel, but don't quite get it. We hear
yeah.
some
giggles,
giggles,
yeah, through the thick walls.
knowing that Duckworth sold that clip a little bit.
It's what he does. Douglas just does not like to have clips. He'll have the opportunity and then he'll just go, you know what? No. But Zipper going for that ball, playing it off the wall, doesn't really
Speed,
get
too.
the
Oh,
touch he
leads it.
wants, but nice little shot from Zipper. Slayer just being a fast mover here. Gets the nice little save and then stays with the ball right after. And there's Taco just being mechanical. Duckworth getting it over 1, but gets bumped off the ball by Soj. Slayer gets a touch off it, and I hear them screaming out there. They're not. they're. I think they've.
They're
just
fiending for
declared-
goals.
They've declared this game at the moment. Yeah.
Oh
they're just, They're just,
my.
they're just walking it in. That's a
Oh
hat trick for our
my.
boy Douglas.
Mhm.
Love to see it. The 3, and he recently changed his profile picture. I'm not gonna lie, I like it.
Huh. Where's that from?
I'm not sure. I forget.
Looks somewhat familiar. And this scoreline looks a little bit familiar. We've seen plenty of
happened before.
7-1s, plenty of 8-0s from
Yeah.
Shawnee.
2 minutes still remaining in this match point game, and they're getting as many goals as they can. They're not stopping the relentless attack. They're trying to put the nail in the coffin at the moment.
Oh,
Oof. Just being techie,
yeah, being
bringing out the
techie.
techers for no reason. 5-0 up. Actually, there's always a reason to be techie, but Slayer
Ooh.
just good positioning, barely getting that save. Not
Duck
barely,
almost
but-
slamming Slayer out of the net
Yeah,
there.
exactly. That's what I meant by barely.
Ooh, good little pop.
Slayer, ooh, nice little double tap off the wall. Zipper in the right position, and just goes for the demo after he gets a touch and the little wall dash. Pass into the middle, not really able to score though, because Taco Stash is just.
Oh, and Duckworth out to
outspeeding.
Slayer.
Straight past to Slayer. Slayer trying to get the double tap, gets his touch off to the left. Duckworth still keeping the ball in
Oh,
there,
a
but
big
side.
miss from Florida Southern, which will keep Shawnee in their half still.
and that might
Bang.
just be almost a bar down. The ball is still in their possession. Duckworth just hitting it with his wheels to play it straight down. The save coming out, and Taco Stash just like his movement looks like he's lagging.
It's
You know,
quick. Yeah, it's
like
lagging.
my brain did not catch up to the fact that he just all dash on the wall, jump, and then just was on the ceiling all of a sudden.
And is able to control all of that
All of that.
momentum
Yeah,
to
all the
pour in
micro
that pressure for
movements,
that goal.
Yeah, and then this ball just falling right in front of the goal. Duckworth just patting them stats now, on his 4th goal at the moment.
Trying to maybe get an ace, I believe. I think that's 5 goals.
Maybe a Brazil going, you know what I mean? Maybe get another goal and then score an own goal, but that would be BM. We can't do
Yeah.
that.
I'd
Unless
much prefer a shutout.
yeah, clean sheet. I agree. Here goes Duckworth. Only 1 or 2
Ooh,
back right now with
Musty.
the musty flick.
Oh, redirect.
Oh, redirect almost getting slotted in the perfect spot, bottom right. Almost an absolutely insane team play. The pressure is being kept here. Taco Stash getting a nice little touch. Is going to try and keep possession, but Soj demos him. But Slayer is ready to go. Second man. Gets bumped off the ball. Gets sent back to... Oh, makes him jump. Goes above another one.
Gonna get another
And
catch.
Zipper trying to dribble it, but not really successfully able to get it. And that's going to be a 3-0 for Shawnee here. And yeah.
Shawnee just keeps pulling up on these games. First game, like, I need a little warm up.
Yeah,
Okay,
keeping
we're
it close
comfortable.
till the minute left of the game, getting 1 goal, winning by 1 goal.
And then the last game is just, I need to pad my stats.
Yeah, that usually happens. That's literally what I was saying after the first game. Both teams are going to start just waking up, even though they've been swimming for the last hour, like they're now at the point where they're like, okay, like we have 1 game secured, we can play a little bit more freely. Don't have to be worried about challenges as much, and then they just start showing out. But that's our NACE victory. So I believe we're like 4-0 now.
Yeah.
I don't think we've
believe
lost
so.
a single game for so far in this tournament. But yeah, that's gonna be Shawnee State University taking the victory over Florida Southern College.
And I do want to give props to Astro. I think he positioned fairly well for
So
trying
did Soj. So did Soj. Like
to make up
Soj
for
was
that
there.
MMR difference.
Soj was there where he was just able to do what he does best. Just be that second man player almost. But that will be our stream for Rocket League, and we will be coming back with an interview right after this short break. Welcome back, and we have the GOAT Slayer here after a 3-0 victory over Florida Southern College. What are your thoughts? I mean, that team was definitely a little bit more well put together compared to like everybody else you've played so far. So what was the thought process going into it?
Yeah, no, so it was interesting just because we haven't really played anyone that good yet, and at least in NACE. So Astro, he's a very good player. He's played like semi-pro. The other guys weren't bad either. They supported him pretty well, but as the series went on, we felt more comfortable. We knew that we had to come out strong. We couldn't really take them lightly. Nothing too crazy. Just play simple rock, and that was pretty much the game plan, and it worked out. Quick 3-0 sweep. So can't be upset with that.
Yeah, it feels good too, especially because, like you said, you haven't played a team this strong so far, and still being able to completely sweep, and like you said, like you couldn't take them lightly. Like I was talking to Wapo, where the first game, it went down to the minute mark where you guys scored your first goal because you guys were kind of just trying to see how they play together and stuff, and then the second, third game, you guys were just kind of feeling it out a little bit more. So that's always nice to see, and um, the game plan coming through and still being able to 3-0 sweep, I'm sure feels like great.
Yeah, yeah, no. I mean, anytime you can come out and get a W, I mean, no matter who it's against and what fashion, that's the goal at the end of the day. So for us, like I said, it's another step towards playoffs, another step towards what we're trying to do here. So it was a good day, I guess.
Yeah, and so far we haven't lost a game in NACE at the moment, right?
We have not.
Okay, so that's always nice to see. And I believe you guys went to CECC over the weekend.
Yeah, yeah. So we had the CECC Midwest regional qualifiers this weekend. So it was the first step in the process to basically trying to get to that national tournament, and we had to get top 8. We got seeded second in our group, and we made light work of Oakland at first, 3-0, and then we played against the first seed in our group, Illinois State. We weren't supposed to win that, but we 3-0'd, clapped them pretty good, so that felt good. And then we had a pretty easy matchup on day 2 to qualify for top 8, which was one of the Purdue teams, and that was 4-0 easy, but. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, it's nice to beat a team like Illinois State just because of not only the star power that they have on their team, but getting egoed by them. They don't want to scrim us because they've had new additions that are supposedly better for their roster, but we made light work of that, so we just got to keep rolling with that. But yeah, I mean, we're one step closer. We're in the regional. I don't know when that is, and then hoping to win that and then go to the CECC National Championship.
Always feels good, especially when you're the underdogs and you come back and fully sweep a team that
Yeah.
always talks and is always vocal about their team and stuff. Always feels great, and always love to see it.
Yeah, no, it's fun. I mean, those are the matches. Like any W is great, but like playing against a team that is very competitive or should be or is looked at very highly, and you're able to basically turn heads and
is actively like showing out, is like we're the team.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the plan. I mean that's what we do all the time. We try to do that. So it's always that. I mean that's the best feeling is winning when people don't believe in you. That's the best story.
Yeah, for sure. And you guys have a bunch of stuff going on, right? You have a bunch this coming weeks.
Yeah, we have a ton of stuff. So I mean, even like right after this, when this stream ends, we've got ECAC. We've got another match for that league. I think that starts at the top of the hour. We play Ball State's second team or Ball State Black, and then I mean, even this weekend, right? We're rolling into Atlanta event, DreamHack Atlanta.
Right.
It's huge, invitational, top 16 or top 12 now. Some teams backed out, and we have our substitute filling in for Duckworth, so that'll be interesting. We'll see how we can do there.
I was just talking about that as well, where it was like you're going to DreamHack, big event, right? But you don't have your A team, like you
Right.
don't have Duckworth, but you do have Spooky, right? And a big factor is not the rank difference, right? It's the chemistry you have with the people you play. So I'm interested to like learn about your thoughts about how you guys are working around the fact that you're not going to have one of your 3 people that always play.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it's interesting, right? Like, obviously, there's that disparity, just like with raw talent. He is still very capable of many things. So it's not super duper hard to fit him in, but it is definitely different, right? We have a different player. I mean, even if you slot someone in same caliber as anyone on the team, right? It's going to be different because every player has their tendencies, how they play style exactly.
Right.
So with him, we're just doing the best that we can to basically facilitate what's best for the team. We're not trying to force him into any role. We're trying to play with the best roles for everyone in that combination of three. So that's the game plan. At the end of the day, right? We're just taking it one game at a time this weekend, see how we do. And I mean, it's a land environment, so that's always going to be fun. That'll be interesting. Anything can happen in that environment as well. So
True.
that's exciting. And then, the next weekend we've got Kentucky that we qualified for. We'll be playing with the main roster for that.
Right.
So that'll be interesting. There's a lot of great teams at that one too, but I love it. I love the in-person atmosphere, the land environment.
Yep.
It's insane whether there's a big crowd or not. Like it's different in person. You've got the ability to talk to your opponents, see their faces.
Face to face, exactly.
It's amazing.
No more hiding behind a mic.
Exactly. That's what it's all about. So it's exciting. And then I think we have potentially St. Clair in Canada and a couple weeks after that. So we've got quite the busy schedule, but it's exciting to say the least.
Yeah, and definitely stay tuned and make sure to tune in for our future streams for Rocket League to see more games with. Okay, and we have an 8 p.m. game, and it might be streamed on ECAC Esports if you want to tune in. So thank you for joining us, and we will see you with our future streams. Thank you for watching.